Hey guys, welcome back to another video on manifestation and positivity. I am so excited to share with you my 5-step process on going from a negative to a positive mindset so that we can all live a happier, healthier lifestyle. So this video will be broken down into 2 parts. We'll first go through the 5-step process, and at the very end, we'll do a quick Q&A. So why don't you go ahead, get comfortable, grab yourself a drink and some snacks, and let's get on with the program. All right, so the 5 steps are as follows. Number 1 is to study your emotions. Number 2 is my 1-day rule. Number 3 is to practice discipline and structure. 4 is to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And 5 is to practice patience. Step 1, study your emotions. What the heck does that mean? That means you need to start observing yourself for a few days to 1 week, okay? Pick a time period and observe yourself. What triggers you to being sad, angry, irritated, annoyed? All these negative emotions. Okay, so write down every single time a negative emotion comes into your life. And think about what led you to feel that emotion. And sometimes it's difficult because we feel upset and we don't know why. But just think and try to see if there was anything that triggered that emotion to occur. So you start by observing your emotions and feelings every single time you feel a negative energy. And then you take that negative energy and you shift it into some positive action. And that's really the key to this step, is to acknowledge you are feeling this way, think about why this feeling occurred, and then take that negative energy and put it into some positive action. All right? So step 2 is the 1-day rule. Now this is a rule that I made up. I don't know if anyone else has ever used it, but I call it the 1-day rule and I religiously live by it. So what this means is anytime something out of my control occurs, so a bad negative situation happens and it takes a toll on my energy and my mental state, I allow myself 1 full day to feel all of those emotions associated with that negativity. And if that means I need to cry for a full day, be angry, be upset, be left alone, I do that. But the key in this step is to let your emotions and feelings pour out for a single day, but then you have to work towards changing that. Okay, so you need to, again, find a way to take this energy and shift it into some sort of action. So step 1 and 2 kind of go hand in hand. They both talk about shifting energy from one place to another. But I think the more important point that I'm trying to get across here is don't suppress your feelings. Okay, don't be upset on the inside and put on a happy face, because the more you keep suppressing down all these negative feelings, the bigger the outcome will be. Meaning one day you're going to blow up and it's going to be really, really bad, and you'll spiral into this black hole of negativity, and it's going to be extremely hard to get out of it. Step 3 is discipline and structure. So this is really cool because if you have a proper routine, or if you have something that you can do every single day, and it could be something as simple as doing your bed to as complicated as having a full morning and evening routine. Whatever it is, do something that makes you happy, but make sure it's something that you can realistically do every single day. So for example, I like to incorporate a morning routine, and I just started doing this a couple months ago. But essentially my morning routine goes something like this. I will wake up, and I'm trying to be a morning person, so I'm trying to force myself to wake up between 6 and 7. I will get ready, shower, go downstairs, immediately turn on some meditation music, start making some coffee, journal down what I'm grateful for, what my affirmations are, and anything that I'm manifesting at the time, and then read a couple pages in a book. So when I do this every single day, I have a sense of productivity in my day. I'm able to set my intentions in the morning, and I can sort of change my mood around. If I woke up in a bad mood, I can use this time to shift my energy into something positive. Okay, You don't have to do this at all. This is just what keeps me grounded and keeps me kind of put together. But if that just means doing your bed every day, by all means, go and do that. All right, so number 4 is called get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And okay, so you know that thing that you have always wanted to do for like a really long time. It's in your gut and you want to do it and you know you can do it, but for some reason you're terrified and you don't take that first step. Yeah, well, that thing you need to go and do. So this right now is your sign that if you have been feeling that type of way for a while, just go and do it. Take the first step. So for me, I have been wanting to make videos like the one that I'm making now for quite some time because I wanted a central place where I can share my tips and tricks on living a positive lifestyle with the world. But I was terrified on what others might think or say, or what if no one watches it. And the point is, even if no one watches this video at all, I'm doing it because it makes me happy, and it's my effort in creating a better and healthier world. So don't worry about what others are going to think. As long as it's safe, it's not harming anyone, and it's making you happy, get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Take that first step and just do whatever it is your heart desires. Okay, so the last step is to practice patience. Now let's be real for a moment, right? Nothing happens overnight. No success has ever occurred overnight, and anyone who is successful will tell you that same thing. So you know it, I know it, we all know it, and yet for some reason we're all impatient for that thing that we're desiring to just happen really quickly. So for this, I want you to know that in order to change your life around from that negativity to being positive, you need to have faith in yourself, be kind to yourself, and love yourself. Because if you can't do those 3 things, then there is absolutely no way that anyone else will have faith in you, that anyone else can love you, and that anyone else will be kind to you. Okay, so you need to trust that you will be, this person that you're desiring to become, but you just have to work towards it and keep going at it. Don't stop, and don't stop having faith. All right, so that was the 5 steps. They're super quick and super easy when you really think about it. To do a quick recap here, the steps are study your emotions, my 1-day rule, discipline and structure, get comfortable with the uncomfortable, and practice patience. So I hope these 5 steps help you. If any of them sort of resonates with you or that you gravitate more towards, please let me know. And now let's go into the Q&A. So I asked on social media if anyone had specific questions around this topic, and if they did, then to share those questions with me. So I'm not going to share who provided these questions, but there were some really good questions, and it really made me think more about this video. So the first question is, how do you control your mind from thinking what others may think? Now this is an amazing question because I struggled a lot with this, and I finally realized that the truth is no one cares. And no one cares because everyone is so wrapped up into doing their own thing. And while we're all doing our own thing, we think that others are caring about what we're doing, but they're not. And it's a little confusing, but just sort of think about that for a second, right? We're all doing our own thing, and we're all thinking that others care about what we're doing, but everyone's so busy in themselves that they're honestly not caring. Now you're probably sitting there wondering, like, well, I have received negative criticism, and it came from people that are close to me, like my family and my friends. So what do I do then? Okay, well, that's fine, but make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, it's something that A, is coming from your gut intuition, so it's something that you have always wanted to do. B, it's not harming anyone in any way whatsoever. And C, it's something that makes you truly happy. So if you're doing something that makes you happy, that's not harming anyone, and it's what you really want to do, your job now is to relay that with the highest level of confidence possible to all of those people that are being negative towards you. And once you're able to do that with confidence, they'll be able to see, your confidence through your actions and your words and the way you're telling them, that they'll also be on board with you, and that negative energy will turn into some support. Okay, so the second question, again, all these questions are really good questions, and I love each one just as much as the next. So the second question says, when you feel like everything is going wrong, how can you focus on the good in your life? So I've had what I call a self-transformation in the past few months. And more specifically, in the past few weeks, I have started to really come in line with my transformation. And I've realized that I used to once be this person that was very negative, that blamed others, that blamed herself, that always wondered, why is this happening to me? To now being someone who, yes, I have highs and lows, I get these negative emotions and feelings, but then I'm able to overcome them and see that silver lining in every situation and to be able to focus on the good. So my 5-step process kind of answers this question. You really need to acknowledge the way that you're feeling. And if that means writing it out on a piece of paper, saying it out loud to yourself in a mirror, or even talking to a reliable, supportive friend or family member, you need to do that. You need to find a way to let out those feelings, because the more you keep them in, the more they're going to suppress. And that's just going to keep building more negativity. And that's going to lead you deeper into this black hole of negativity. All right. So I will give you an example of this. So for those of you that don't know, I am engaged. We're supposed to get married this August, and we have decided to move the wedding to next year. Now, this wedding postponement, although I know there's terrible things going on around in the world, and that this is really not a big issue when you look at the big picture, for me it was. And for me, my world completely stopped and everything came crashing down, and I felt like everything was going wrong. My fiance, on the other hand, was obviously upset about this, but he wasn't crashing down into this negative black hole like I was. And so I was determined to get into this happy state of mind like he was in. And so I incorporated all of these steps, right? This is what I did. I allowed myself to feel bad. I gave myself a couple of days because I really needed a couple of days, and one day wasn't going to cut it. I allowed myself to cry as much as I needed to. I allowed myself to be angry. I did whatever I could to let out my emotions. I wrote about them. I thought about them. And then I got uncomfortable. I got comfortable with the uncomfortable, meaning I went to a reliable source. I went to my family. I sat them down. I told them how I was feeling and let out more emotions. And this helped me really get their side. So I was upset for 2 reasons. I was upset because my world was crashing down. Everything that I was expecting wasn't happening. And then no one else was reciprocating their feelings to me. No one was giving me the support that I was searching for. So when I sat my family down and I told them, I was able to hear their side. So this was beneficial for 2 reasons. 1, I was able to understand why they weren't telling me how they felt. And 2, it opened up this sort of atmosphere in our house where we're able to talk about our feelings. So I did those things, and then that still wasn't fully enough. So I went on the internet, I looked up videos on other people who are going through similar situations. Now, I know for me that was easy because whatever's going on around in the world is affecting everyone in the same way, or similar way at least. So if you're going through a situation and it's something so particular and you don't think that there's other people that are going through it, the truth is there are, but people are just not talking about it. So you need to take that first step and find a reliable source and just tell them how you're feeling. And the last and most important step was a gratitude list. I guess some form of gratitude list, where although all this negative stuff was happening and my world came crashing down and my wedding wasn't going as planned, there's still so much in that situation that still remained the same, right? And that was my love and relationship with my fiance. The relationship itself is not going anywhere. It's just the wedding part is being delayed. So I focused my energy on this, and now obviously I'm talking about this in front of you without shedding a tear, which means I have been able to overcome the situation, and so can you. You just have to find a way to let out your feelings and then search for that silver lining and focus every single ounce of energy you have towards it. The last question is, how do you handle the highs and lows of feeling positive and then feeling negative because of a situation that occurred? So, every single person goes through highs and lows of emotions, right? No one posts about their lows on social media, and everyone posts about their highs. So this has a lot to do with patience, but we really need to stop setting high expectations. And I used to be someone who always set high expectations, everything I did. And most of the time, those expectations weren't met, and I came crashing down, which led me back into my dark negative hole, and I spiraled down into it with no way out. So you need to differentiate between high expectations versus manifesting, because there is a fine line between them. So high expectations means you are setting yourself up for failure. That's what it comes down to. Manifesting is asking the universe for what you want, but also trusting the universe to give it to you in the best way possible that's most beneficial for you. So that means, let's say you're manifesting something and someone else has already achieved what it is you're manifesting. Don't envy them because you haven't received that yet. Have some faith and patience with the universe and know that whenever this thing is supposed to come into your life, it will, and it'll come and manifest in the way that it's supposed to. So if it doesn't manifest in the exact way you envisioned, it's okay, because it's either teaching you a lesson or it's giving you a blessing. And it's your choice and it's your decision to figure out, is this a lesson or is this a blessing? But I think overall, for all of these 3 questions, incorporating and really thinking about my 5-step process will help you through these obstacles in life. And I myself am going to continue using these 5 steps, fine-tuning them, and who knows, maybe a month, a year from now, I will come up with more and better ways to go from negative to positive. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments down below and share this with your friends and family. And if it did help you in some way or another, I would really appreciate it if you could come and tell me how it's helped you, which steps you loved, and provide any kind of positive criticism that you can offer. So with that, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you have an amazing and beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.